There's been a lot of talk that somehow they're going to get rid of Donald Trump. They're not going to get rid of Donald Trump, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, I just don't think that's going to happen. Because here's the thing. They can have the establishment can get together and say, okay, it's one thing to get rid of Trump because he's racist, right? People are never going to go for that. But all of these guys, like these Trump supporters we just saw, go build me a burrito, bitch, and pay for it. All of those Trump supporters, they're not going to get the slightly more nuanced argument of, well, his fundraising in the second quarter has been really weak and he doesn't have the institutional support that he needs. So we're just going to boot him for Jeb Bush or Mitt Romney. I have a feeling that's not going to go over with the Republican base. But here is Kendall Unruh,
who we just heard from,
the Colorado delegate leading the Free the Delegates campaign. Says party can dump Trump. Here we go.
Just say it's a separate issue. I mean, whether he won fair and square, it seems to me a totally separate issue as to whether or not the party decides at the convention that they don't want the winner of the primary to actually get the nomination.
But let me explain that, because this is actually a party institution. We actually need to select our own nominee. And we don't live in a democracy. And it's actually, our founding fathers called it mobocracy. They called it mob rule, because we believe that just because the majority agrees with something doesn't make it right, and thankfully so, because the rights of the minorities would never be protected. But they set that check and balance into place, as has our party followed through, that we actually vote for a delegate to use their wisdom, their discernment, based upon the circumstances at the time, whether or not to cast that ballot. And the only one that I'm accountable to, because in spite of what Donald Trump said, weaving a false narrative that the delegates in Colorado were not elected, I had to convince thousands of people to vote for me. I had to spend my own time, effort, energy, and money. And I'm accountable to them. If I choose to not cast a ballot on the floor for candidate A or candidate B, I have to go back and answer to them. I'm not answerable to the party. I don't have to answer to the RNC.
I think the internal dynamics of how the parties choose their nominee is going to be a much harder sell publicly than we changed our mind and we don't want Donald Trump.
Yeah. So, yeah, good luck to her. That's all I could say. Yeah, good luck with that. I think that's the point. You got to go back and justify it to the people who I think are going to tell you to go make your own taco or to build my effing wall. In fact, I have a pretty good sense of how the Trump supporters would address you, madam. And I suspect it would be with a slightly less respect than you would want.
Unless you frame it as a fundraising issue, a lack of data analytics in the Trump campaign,
Oh, yeah.
in which case they'll all of a sudden they'll be like, oh, wait a second, I hadn't been articulated.
Don't you folks realize he has no data program?
Oh, wait, hold on. Everybody.
Wait a second.
Oh, no data program.
Oh, that is going to be a
all
problem
right.
for down-ticket races.
Yeah.
Where will people get their updated voting files from?
Could that even affect
You're right.
Could that even affect state parties, theoretically?
Oh, that's interesting.
Don't forget, state races matter a lot.
Have you done a regressive study on how this might affect the census 4 years out? Well, okay. Jeb Bush it is.
Yeah.
I just don't think that's going to happen. Hello, you. I'm Sam Seder. Looking for smart progressive talk that is occasionally amusing? Well, subscribe to our YouTube feed. Subscribe to our podcast. Like us on Facebook. And just generally enjoy us.